strife, suffering, pain. These are all elements found in the horror known as war, and no war embodies them better than the horrific tale of the Great Emu War. The story begins in November of 1932, right after the events of World War I. The Australian government wanted to thank the military for their work in protecting the country, and so they gave all the soldiers who fought in the war their own plot of farmland in Western Australia. Little did they know of the pain that would result in this simple gesture. Turns out that there was a herd of emus in the area who were laying waste amongst these crops. These emus would soon turn out to be the arch-nemesis of the Australian government. The government heard about this problem, and they started brainstorming some ideas on how to get rid of the birds. This is when a major player in the Great Emu War emerged, one Sir George Pearce. I don't understand this man. He had the most intense hatred of emus I've ever seen. He was also coincidentally the one who suggested military actions against the birds. The Australian government asked, so how do we get rid of the emus? And the majority of the governors were like, safely trapping them or relocating them. And then there was George Pearce who was like, bombs and machine guns and 10,000 rounds of .300 caliber bullets. Due to Pearce's incessant bloodlust, the Australian army dispatched a group of soldiers to eliminate the emus. On November 2nd, the troops found a group of 50 emus. They figured it would be an easy mission, and they planned on grouping the emus in one big group so they would have an easy target. However, the emus knew of their foolish plan and decided to thwart it by splitting into smaller groups, surrounding the troops and trampling them. No humans were killed, although several were injured, but there were also no emu deaths. This happened over and over and over again, with Pearce continuing to send more and more troops. Eventually, the Australian army retreated inside this massive failure. The emus basked in their victory, and seemingly organized their troops better and became even more intent on causing the rampant destruction of crops. Thus, the Australian army was drawn back into the fight. Now, having known the power of the superior species, they were rightfully apprehensive in attacking the emus once again. Pearce had lost his mind at this point. The need for the spilling of emu blood was taking over his life. I feel like the climax of his deteriorating mental state was when he suggested bombing the emus with low-flying planes. The military continued their attacks against the emus, fearing their power. Eventually, the emus got bored with their pathetic human pawns and moved on from them, much to the relief of the human maggots. Although the emus retreated, several still believed them to have won the war, and those who do not live long enough to speak their lies. Honestly, this was the most fun video I've made yet, due to it basically just being historical shitposting. Also, sorry about the wait for this video, new one will be out soon.